We've created a world in which online connection has become primary, especially in younger generations. That's a quote from Jaron Lanier from the 2020 film Social Dilemma. So, social media is having adverse effects on not only our youth, but on our nation and society as a whole. Today, I will discuss the adverse effects social media is having on our relationships, preventative measures we can take to avoid falling for conspiracy theories, and how we can ensure the news we receive is credible and accurate. So, Valentine's Day was just a couple weeks ago, so I'm going to start off with relationships. So, social media and its adverse effects on our relationships. So, social media is creating more or less a distraction inside of relationships. It's not allowing us to have that real intimate time with one another. It's not allowing us to be amongst our significant other anymore. We're too busy on social media and worrying about what we're seeing on social media, updating our statuses, posting pictures, whatever the case may be. There's no real time allotted to the actual relationship anymore. I see more often than not, I see people posting on Snapchat or Instagram, first date kind of nervous, posting, a picture of their food or whatever. They won't show the person's face, but they'll show like, oh, I'm on a date, kind of nervous, letting the whole world know I'm on a date, instead of focusing on the person that you're there with. The reason why you're on a date is because you're with another person. We're becoming too focused and consumed by social media and updating our statuses and letting people know what we're doing, to where it's not allowing us to have real connections with one another. It's also creating unrealistic expectations within inside of relationships. We see all this all the time. We see these YouTube couples, we see these Instagram couples, and we're like, oh, I want to be like them. I want to have a relationship with like them. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but not all of us are going to be influencers. Not all of us are going to be making 6 and 7 figures off of their relationship. So you can't look to someone's relationship that you see on social media and try to align that with your own relationship. It's just creating unrealistic expectations with inside of relationships. Now, in contrast, I will say, this is actually from Angela Moore. She wrote an article about this, about how social media is allowing for singles to meet one another more now so than it has ever before. So that is one positive effect that social media is having on relationships. We have those dating apps like, Zeus and Tinder. Tinder's a big one. So we have those social media apps, so we are meeting each other a lot more now. But once you get into that relationship, now, okay, the part of linking up, we got that down. But then moving forward and actually being in a relationship, that's the part that we're kind of falling short on. Now, enough about relationships, because your boy's kind of sad he's not in a relationship right now. I don't want to cry in front of you guys. I'm just kidding. So let's talk about conspiracy theories and preventative measures we can take to avoid falling for conspiracy theories. So one main thing, and this is just something in general, is allowing yourself to be more open-minded to others whose ideas and opinions differ from yours. So I say this because I'm going to reference to Pizzagate, the whole thing of Pizzagate, about once you buy a pizza from this one place, a child is bought, something in that realm. Republicans are actually believing this, that Democrats are really doing this. And it's like, if we were to actually go and have a conversation, put politics aside, put our differences aside, and actually listen to one another, we would have known, okay, that's probably false. I'm friends with a Democrat, and that's not true. Same if I'm not a Republican, I'm a Democrat. But in that same notion, if I were to hear something that a Republican did, I would sit there and be like, it's probably not happening. I've had conversations with Republicans, and I know they wouldn't do that. We have to be more open-minded with one another. Another thing is critical thinking. Now, I'm going to harp on critical thinking so much in this speech, I'm going to make you mad, because it's something, I'm going into the English field. I'm going into teaching English, and I know my English teachers all the time, they would get down on us about critical thinking critically. It is a tool that you need to use not only in school, but in your life in general. Critical thinking is so useful. Because if you use critical thinking and you sit there and you analyze what is being presented in front of you, you're going to be like, this is not true. This is not facts. This has no merit. We're not going to just say, I see that on social media, so it's true. Did you think about it? Did you question it? Did you think critically about it? No. You just seen something on social media and you ran with it. That's what's wrong. We got to start thinking more critically in every aspect of our lives. Not even just on social media, but in every aspect of our lives. Another tip is to network with others. So talking to your friends or talking to your family like, yo, bro, I seen this on Twitter. Elon Musk just tweeted this. Look at it. Tell me what you think. Getting opinions from other people, not just sitting behind that screen and like, oh, well, I seen it on Twitter. Elon Musk said it, so it's true. No, we have to network with others and allow others' opinions and allow others and have a conversation, converse with one another to where it's like, yeah, man, that doesn't sound legit. That doesn't sound credible. We have to do that more so we stop falling under the influence of conspiracy theories because it is really causing a rift in our nation. Now, as I move into my close, my last topic is how we can ensure the news and facts that we receive are credible and accurate. Angela Taylor wrote in a news article, look to see who is quoted. Look to see what the source is quoting. So if I'm looking at an article online and I see they're saying, Barack Obama stated, I'm the best president ever because I'm black. Would you think Barack Obama said that? No. You know Barack Obama. Most of us know who Barack Obama was in America, so we would know he wouldn't say something like that. Look to see who is quoted and be like, yeah, that's probably not true. Not, it's on the internet, so it's true. No. You got to think, man. You got to think. And again, like I said, I'm going to harp on critical thinking so much. You have to think critically. You have to sit there and think. Is what is being illustrated, is what is being presented in front of me, is that true? Dissect it, analyze it, come to a conclusion if it is true or not. That's how we can stop falling under the influence of conspiracy theories. That's how we can stop falling under the influence of fake news. We have to start thinking more. We have to stop allowing social media to think for us, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to think for us instead of us taking the brain that we were given and thinking for ourselves. Now, as I move to my close, I want to reiterate and emphasize the adverse effects social media is having on our nation and society as a whole. Today, we discussed some tips to avoid falling under the influence of social media, to preventive measures to avoid falling under the influence of conspiracy theories, how we can ensure the news that we receive is credible and accurate, and also talking about the adverse effects social media is having on relationships in modern times. The biggest takeaway I want you guys to have from this is to utilize critical thinking more. Be more analytic in what is being presented in front of you, in whatever information you are being given. Think more critically. Give yourself more credit than you do. You're smart. You're intelligent. Question what is being given to you. Don't just be like, oh, well, it's on social media, so it's true. No, use that brain that you got and think about it. Question it. Dissect it. Another thing is to limit your social media usage. That's a big thing. Interact with society more. I'm going to tell you now. I'm not an Android Galaxy user. Will never be. I'm an iPhone user. After watching the movie The Social Dilemma, I went on my phone and I started. What I did was, I went into my screen time and I started limiting the amount of time I spent on apps, especially the apps I use the most. TikTok. I'm a TikToker. I be on TikTok a lot. I reduced the time that I'm on TikTok to an hour and a half a day. That's the time allotted. The time I allotted to TikTok a day, so that I can be with the world more often, interact with the world more often. Now, I know we can't do it right now because, coronavirus, 6 feet, stay back, 6 feet. But once the pandemic has ended, instead of being on social media and being confounded to social media, put it down. Limit your time. Interact with society more. Talk to people who have different ideologies than you do. That's what I want you guys to take away from this. Think more critically. Engage more. Have better interpersonal skills with one another. I thank you for you guys for tuning in. I thank you for you guys for listening. And I hope that you guys really have some type of takeaway from this. Thank you.